when Don Cornelius, who hosted the ever-popular show Soul Train, at the end of every episode of Soul Train, he would say in parting, "I wish us love, peace, and soul." We were, in the beginning of that program, we were soul brothers and sisters, even though at the same time we were technically called black people, black Americans. I believe it would be in the early 80s, late 70s, somewhere in there, where this name African American would be adopted. And prior to that, we were called the descendants of slaves born in America. We were called colored people, of which Dr. King used colored people and Negro, and towards the end of his life he would begin to use black. We were identified as colored and Negro, black people, African American. As in pardon, I wish us love, peace, and soul. On this platform that we call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry, I have decided to adopt soul brothers and sisters, to identify a people who are the descendants of slaves born in America. And I could create, manufacture some type of new identity, but out of the respect of our ancestors, I decided to embrace soul brothers and sisters because, to my knowledge, it is the only identity that we actually created, and probably really the only identity that has been accepted by us as a people or as a group. Who called us black people? In the Nation of Islam, I was taught the black man is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. What is black people? You say Africans are black people, and you say black people all over the earth. What is black people? Is black people a race? A species? Because if we who are in America, if we are black people, what kind of black people we are? Is black just a color? So what kind of black people is the so-called African American in this country? Least to say all these other labels. I am Kemetic. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I am a Moor. I am a Christian. The list goes on and on and on. Who gave us these labels? So, my thing here is colored and black and Negro. We know black. There's no people on this earth. There's no people on this planet, prior to the 1700s, when the idea or the concept of race was created, they did not call themselves black. In the beginning, if there was nothing but black people, why would they concentrate on black? In order to concentrate on black, that means you are comparing yourself to somebody else who is white, who is red, who is yellow. And you have to, so that you can show that there's a difference. I'm black. And it's so great to be black. The only one who is worried about being black and great is a racist. I want to show that because of my skin color, I'm better than the red man. I'm better than the white man. I'm better. Or if I'm a white man, if I'm a red man, I'm better. When you caught up in race, there was no concept of race in the beginning of humanity. Human beings identified themselves with their family, with their tribe, with their nation. There was no red man. There was no black man. There was none of these labels. For us, black, Negro, colored, we know for a fact that these labels, these identities, come from the slave master and his children. We know this for a fact. My ancestors was on slave plantations and given European names, and of course identified within the racial construct of the slave master, of the oppressor. This is fact. Now, African American is supposed to be a correct identity because my ancestors all came from Africa and we are Americans, put them together, African American. We are two continents. There's no mention of any people, there's no mention of any family, no mention of any tribes or any nation. We just some African, we just two continents. I'm a continent, you're a continent. African American is two continents. Now, you have Asian, people call Asian Americans, but they would tell you, and they can refer to a family or a tribe or a nation in Asia. And other immigrants that come from this country, they might call themselves Asian Americans or Afghan Americans. They have something that they can identify with. We're just a continent. Because our ancestors supposed to came from Africa. It's just a relative term that was adopted by the oppressor, that they got it from Jesse Jackson, a man who doesn't know. And they adopted that because, and where did Jesse get, why did Jesse feel as though African American is appropriate identity? Is because he was told, like many of us, that our ancestors come from Africa. But this is 2022, and there's a lot of questions and there's a lot of things that need to be put on the table, and it's not appropriate. It's not realistic. Because of the internet, now more voices can be heard, more information can be shared, that this identity, African American, is a fallacy, along with black and colored and whatever. However, unless that's what the people want. Nobody, I don't remember nobody asking me, did I want to be called an African American or black or Negro? These are labels that's just forced on us. You are a Muslim by nature, they say in the Nation of Islam. They ain't asking you nothing. That's what you are. You are African. That's what you are. All these folks come out the woodworks. You are a Hebrew Israelite. You are Nubian. Nobody asks us nothing. My position is I don't want your funky ass name. We are a people. We are creative. We are unique. And we can identify and label ourselves. We don't need nobody used up ass names. We can be who we are. So when I say soul brothers and sisters on this platform, I can identify and label it any kind of way that I want because it's mine. When you call yourself black or African American or Hebrew Israelite, or which is foreign, come from a foreign place, Africa, a foreign place that you don't know nothing about, Egypt, a dead civilization you don't know nothing about, you're adopting all these different names and whatever that you don't know nothing about. So that means those who control that narrative can tell you what you're doing wrong. You can't tell me what a soul brother and sister is because I control this. This is mine. So you can't tell me what I am. You can't tell me about how I should roll. But when you identify and take these used identities made up by somebody else, well, that don't identify. Yes, it do. I'm the creator. We starting from scratch, just like they did. At one time, all these cultures, Egypt and whatever, the ancient Israelite, whatever they was, they started from somewhere. We are unique, we are new, and we starting from scratch. And we determine who we are. I don't need a Bible, I don't need a Quran, I don't need to talk about, I don't need no hieroglyphics off some old ass rock from 5,000 years ago. I'm new. I'm unique. I know myself. So you tell me what's wrong with being me. What's wrong with my brain? You mean to tell me dead folks created civilization and I'm alive and I can't create civilization? Is that what you're saying? You're saying that we too dumb and stupid to do what the Egyptians done or ancient Ethiopia, or all this glamorous stuff that they did in the past. You are alive and you can't do what they done. But see, if you really understood who you were, we already have been doing that, even as slaves in America. We have created our own subculture within American culture. And we have become that identify with ourselves. Because that's what free people do. We are unique to ourselves. The food we like is different from other people. Our humor is different. The books we read is different from other people. Why you want to try to turn yourself into somebody else? I don't want to be them. Who cares if you are related to so-and-so? So what if you are related to Uncle Dave or Auntie Selma or whatever? You don't want to be them. You are yourself. You shouldn't even want to be like your parents. We are unique. So we are unique as individuals, and we should be unique as a people, regardless if we are Native Americans, Aboriginals, or Africans, or whatever the hell you want to be related to. Be yourself. What's wrong with that? So I will adopt soul brothers and sisters because that's what my ancestors, that's what they created. And we're going to build on that and move forward instead of going backwards and wearing these costumes of people who we never was and never will be. Love yourself.